things that I've learned during the course of my career. This one sounds a bit funny though still, but bear with me. The people who don't like you are the people who are more than likely to give you the most honest feedback. Now, the messenger, you probably want to ignore, right? But the messenger doesn't always negate the message. And I didn't learn this by myself, FYI. There was somebody I used to work with, and I was like, yeah, this person doesn't like me. And he was like, well, if they like, whether they like you or not, still go seek them out, because they gave you some feedback, but go find out why they told you that. I said, but they don't like me, I don't like them. And he said to me, it's irrelevant, because they'll be more honest to you than anybody else. And it's the hardest thing in the world to take a crappy message from a person that you do not like. It's horrible. You can take, because you know what, they don't season it with salt, they don't pull any punches, and quite frankly they don't care if they hurt you. But the point is, within all of that, it's probably a grain of truth. It's probably a grain of truth that people who don't like you, that work with you, don't tell you. It's probably the thing that's spoken about in rooms most senior to yours, but nobody's actually giving you feedback because it feels awkward. Yeah, so I'm not trying to tell you to go be best friends with people that you don't like at work or people that you have tension with. But opening the door to that communication, to acknowledge that you can take their feedback, although you might not, and I said dislike, I didn't say disrespect, that's completely different. Although you might not have the best personal relationship, changes things. Because as in my case, it turned out that the person that I thought didn't like me, after we had the honest conversation, we went for feedback, I was like, oh, I went away, processed it, came back. I was like, oh, that was really helpful. I didn't really think you liked me. So, blah, blah, blah. Turned out that they didn't not like me. We just didn't see eye to eye, and we had different communication style. But the point is this, it still managed to create an opening in conversation with a person who normally I would have written off anything that they would have said. No, not I would have. I did write off everything that they'd said at that point. Their comments, their feedback, I was just like, yeah, you're an idiot. Now, my basis of them being an idiot was not anything to do with their work, to be fair. It's just I didn't like them, and I thought they also didn't like me. So it's that thing around, number one, not letting our perceived, sometimes a perceived dislike, in my case, that's what it was, a perceived dislike get in the way of a good or decent working relationship, but also acknowledging that the people that you may not like still have some level of value to bring to you. And I'm really heavy on the may not like. These aren't the people, I'm not talking about the kinds of people who are trying to screw up your career. I'm not talking about the kinds of people that don't want your light to shine. I'm not talking about the kinds of people who willingly obstruct your success. I'm not talking about the kinds of people who are toxic work bullies. I'm talking about the kinds of people that just feel like you have a general personality clash. And that personality clash is stopping you from seeing their opinion as being remotely valuable. That's A. And B, it also stops you from taking the seriousness or admitting or acknowledging that what they might be telling you when it comes to giving you feedback that at the time feels more like criticism and not constructive might actually have a kernel of truth in it.